Binance all USD bank transactions will be temporarily halted starting tomorrow, February 8th. I do not believe this, because transfers and all other ways of buying and selling cryptocurrencies remain unaffected. Our balance, and if I'm crazy. But whenever I hear about exchanges performing maintenance, I always become a little skeptical. Air quotes because, in my experience, when significant exchanges like Binance do this is the cryptocurrency market where some huge moves, so that's why I was tweeting while watching the market fully send and everyone wants to buy using US dollars and cans, and it's just a joke, guys. I observed several individuals being enraged by this. I conducted a poll to determine which of these alts will reach their 2021 high first, and we can see that BAR actually won. The poll is still open, but I believe it was skewed because more experienced some favorable news and price movement today. However, 63% of respondents believe HBAR will reach its high first, and I have provided a chart below, so that may also make more sense. The significant news for Hedera is that each bar, at least from yesterday, would require over an 8x return, or a 760 rise, whereas the algo at 25 cents to its all-time high at 250 would be almost a $900 increase, or a 10-fold return. We are delighted to announce Dell's addition to the Hedera. Another domino falls when the governing council creates applications for highly decentralized mission-critical environments like edge computing. And another enormous organization joins Hedera's council, and it won't be long until additional industrial giants follow suit due of Hedera's council. The size of the government council is growing. LG, IBM, Deutsche Telekom, Google, Boeing, and now Dell. Hey, cool, I had no idea it had a headquarters in Round Rock, Texas. Brad Chase, Senior Director of Engineering at Ripple, is joining us for a fireside chat to discuss the practical applications of cryptocurrencies and what a tokenized future might look like through services like the Liquidity Hub. We have a rage economy, which is of Ripple, when we speak of tokenization. One of the most helpful users on Twitter for the community of XRP users that are perplexed by XRP. Will discussions about tokenization have an impact on XRP? Here's an attempt to clarify certain topics. Keep in mind that the BCG Boston Consultant Group predicts that by 2030, $16 trillion in globally illiquid assets will be tokenized. So, after going over everything, it's important to emphasize that there are many theories about how XRP is backed at a 1-to-1 ratio, and I sure hope they're true. That'd be fantastic. Like anyone, I want to send my stuff to the moon, but in this case, let's just concentrate on XRP. And comprehend that XRP is the native asset of its network, the XRPL, or XRP ledger. The advantage is that organizations like Ripple have focused on tokenization for a long time, which has significantly increased the value of the XRP ledger. Therefore, I strongly urge you guys to go there. This is Rage through this thread. On January 23rd, The Economy published this, and look at the explosion of NFTs in the last year. We have stablecoin security tokens, while tokenization of assets does not influence the value of XRP at all. Tokenizing assets has always been a key component of the XRP ledger attractiveness. There are so many contributing aspects and ideas that may be considered in this, but simply to keep. It is really inclusive. The longer since liquidity is the more valuable component of consent, the XRP ledger is beneficial for XRP and will most likely result in higher liquidity for XRP. This is a huge feature, and tokenization of assets is huge. We know that the XRP ledger has that capability. The more it's traded, the more it's held, the more it's used by actual users, which can create scarcity and demand for token. Of course, the burn rate is pretty negligible, very small transaction fees and account fees that have an account or create one, and that is for securing the XRP ledger and preventing spam. Even with toko systems that are focused on tokenizing NFC utility, you are aware that Casper and Hedera's Hashgraph have that capability. Remember that even David Schwartz envisioned XRP offering giant pools of liquidity to move value anywhere, anytime, relying on pathfinding or finding the most efficient route for payment between different payment pairs, and, of course, fees. These tokenized assets could use XRP to move value, meaning buy and sell, not just transact. Payments are going to be huge, and it's not going to be Bitcoin. Yes, I am a permeable XRP. You guys can hold whatever you like. Word buying and selling XRP on the order books, which presumably influences the XRP price. Do your own research, but I've seen enough and am keeping my long-term holds because they have been in operation for more than 10 years with no downtime. Increasing demand-driven liquidity. When you observe that kind of growth rate, there is a 9x ripple in the growth from year to year. They will compete against the SEC. There are a lot of things going on, and I know everyone watching this channel is already aware of them, so I don't know why I'm saying it again, but David Schwartz's discussion of these public liquidity pools that anyone can contribute to and draw from is very interesting. A global market for assets that someone just so happens to already have exactly where someone else just so happens to need them to be sounds like an X-pool back in the day. There are a few factors to take into account when determining how much tokens should use XRP for liquidity. Tokens should generate a demand for liquidity, be desirable to trade, and maybe offer usefulness in addition to being tokenized. The full value of the asset being exchanged does not have to be covered by enormous sums of the liquidity obtained through XRP. Think of an order book, where there are buyers and bids, and then there is a sell side created by providing liquidity with XRP. Finally, the problem of on-demand liquidity is frequently lamented when there are asks or sells. The price of XRP will change when assets on the XRP ledger are tokenized. However, there does not appear to be a direct linear dollar-to-dollar, one-to-one ratio, or one-to-one effects. Can we call it a flywheel? We're at the condiment table is a must because it uses one of my favorite expressions, effect. The question of whether XRP will overtake Bitcoin's present market share was posed to David 6 years ago in terms of XRP appraisal. Keep in mind that at the time, XRP was known as Ripple. This man is an outstanding genius who consistently produces excellent threads that are condensed to the point. 6 years ago, for $2. If all high-friction value is captured by Ripple, this brings me back to my earlier thoughts about pools and liquidity pools in the AML. International transfers are currently being made at $20, but you could add a multiplier effect to this for increased demand from people holding XRP to make or facilitate the payments in the future. Although I have noticed a lot of XRP, I'm not yet clear if it was a proposal, but it certainly makes you wonder. Price charts where, if you plot, what is it, the logarithmic growth curve, it can show like $20 or $25, and obviously I think those prices are plausible. But all we have to do is get there. If I didn't think more expensive valuations. I try to be conservative, thus if XRP were possible I would not be holding it. Only time will tell, but I have faith in it. I'm holding a decent bag, and even if we talk about the value of an increase in the volume of international payments brought on by the reduction in friction, it might be worth $120, and you could also make the case for a multiplier. This has an impact, and keep in mind that further use cases are currently being added on top. Ripple is not the only provider of international payments on the XRP ledger. The possibilities are endless, and I just want to highlight that 76% of the total cost per supply is currently secured by bonds or stakes, so when you're looking at this circulating revenue, there is no limit. Consider that the supply is actually much lower before estimating how much there really is being exchanged only between exchanges, which would cause a lot more scarcity. We believe we are familiar with the H4 price chart. Had a lovely pump today along with the announcement of Delve joining the Hedera Governing Council. As we've heard many times, Casper will be announcing a new Fortune 100 company that is collaborating with them right now in Missouri, reported. Because Google has invested over $1.5 billion in a number of blockchain initiatives, it seems to imply that it was Google and anything's possible, but I'd like to get proof from Casper and I. Just side by side, posted this on Twitter. This is not investment advice, it compares bar versus fetch on the daily time frame. However, I still enjoy sharing these images, and this is where we can see that Fetch reached. Creating a flag at the 500-day mark, 500-day MA for H4 is currently about 16 cents, and Fetch did something like an 8x or 9x in just the last couple of months. Imagine even if this were to continue. If it took HR the entire year to make a move comparable to that and return to earlier levels, whether the April or May highs were around 25 cents or much higher, that is. And watching it will be incredibly thrilling. After a very long year and a half, I'm hoping that a range of alternate characters will simply surprise us this year because you guys deserve it nevertheless. Revolut, a digital banking service, has begun to provide cryptocurrency. Staking out clients in the UK and the European Economic Area, we can observe that the Super Bowl has banned cryptocurrencies like Tezos and .ADA. Television advertisements, and I don't blame them in the slightest after FTX and all these bad actors. I don't believe it will have a long-term negative impact on cryptocurrency. X. And last but not least, Anderson. If Swift wanted to collaborate with Ripple, they might genuinely live up to their name. We have the BBVA Economic Ripple user. A treasury management application called Pivot is available in 15 nations and 24 different currencies, including Ripple partner BCI in Chile. And now that BAC is a multi-currency management tool, we can speak of multiple management and treasury management tools that we have for FOMO Pay without being startled. Do you recall that this was on Ripple back in July? To use Ripple's on-demand liquidity for cryptocurrency-enabled treasury management, FOMO must pay. Keep in mind that ODL uses XRP and has previously been utilized to facilitate cross-border payments. Service providers and SMEs manage imprisoned funds, which may be better used, but conventional treasury payments are still painful and inefficient. They appear to be able to leverage ODL right here for treasury payments, and FOMO Pay is able to get 24 hours a day, 365 days a year access to liquidity for euro and US dollars, so that's another use. It's estimated that $3.5 billion are spent annually to address issues with the Treasury's liquidity. Case.